Welcome back. This is our fifth and final video in the How to Successfully Roll Out a New Math Curriculum series. And the fifth and final thing is a process for lesson planning, lesson internalization, intellectual prep, whatever you want to call it. But that thing that you're going to do and your teachers are going to do before they actually teach a lesson. I can't tell you how many times I've talked to leaders and they've rolled out a new curriculum and they basically say, yeah, the teachers are using it, but they are page turning. Like they feel like the teachers are waking up that morning, walking into the classroom, like picking up the book and seeing the problems for the first time while the students are doing them. So there's been no previewing of the lesson. The problem with that, as you can imagine, is they're caught off guard. They don't know what the focus of the lesson is. They haven't internalized the strategies. They haven't thought about ways students might approach the problems or what's going to trip them up or, get in the way of the students understanding it. And so it's ineffective. So when I'm working with schools on putting together a lesson internalization process, I always point them back to their vision and their priorities. So in video 2, we talked about the importance of picking instructional priorities, and this is where I would really roll those in. So the example I gave in that video was shifting the lift to students. So let's just continue on with that example. But let's say that you really want to see your teachers having students doing the talking, students doing the thinking and the reasoning, students doing the heavy lifting. Then in your lesson internalization, lesson planning process, you're going to bake that in. That's what you're going to want to do, I should say, is bake that in. And when you are sitting with a team or you're coaching an individual teacher or whatever it is that you're doing, reviewing lesson plans, you want to look at it through the lens of your instructional priorities. And so again, if it's shifting the lift to students, students doing the heavy lifting, productive struggle, whatever you want to call it, where are there times when teachers are planning for that? Where are the prompts and the questions for you to say, okay, where in the lesson are there opportunities for students to do the reasoning, to do the thinking, to problem solve, to reason, to explain, to justify? What questions might you ask to, pull that out even more? Where are there places that you might be tempted to rescue or over scaffold or walk kids through things? And what are you going to do to make sure that doesn't happen? That's the kind of thing that you want to put into your guide, your protocol, your process, whatever it is, so that you can really leverage those new materials and those new resources to see the change in instruction that you want to see the outcome and the ROI for all the hard work you're putting in rolling out a new curriculum, because rolling out a new curriculum is not easy. It's a heavy lift. It takes a lot of time. It takes energy. It takes focus. And you don't want it to be all for nothing. And this is one of the places that, if you've put these other foundational things in place, you have a vision, you've picked priorities, you have a pacing guide, you've taken the time to let them internalize the unit, then bring it home by having a really strong lesson internalization process that's really going to focus teachers in on those very important priorities and those really strategic priorities that you've chosen.